In today's video, we're going to look at one of the most important ingredients all successful animators have. So stay tuned. Hey guys, my name is Eon and welcome to my Start Animating YouTube channel, the channel that is specifically aimed at everyone that is new to animation. And if that is you, welcome, you are at the right place. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and also click on that little notification bell so that you can get notified every week when I upload a brand new video. Now, just a quick, I just want to share quickly my Start Animating community is open and the first bunch of animators has joined, and this week we are running our first challenge and we are having loads of fun inside this community. It is a great place for like-minded animators to be. There's no trolls, and so I would like to invite you to come join us. Like I say, we are running our first challenge at the moment. So today we are going to look at a topic or a ingredient all successful animators should have, and this is something that I would highly encourage all of you to start implementing this into your animation so that you can improve. And what is this? Well, before I say what it is, I have a business coach, and he actually a few weeks ago talked about this exact same thing. And I thought, well, this is actually applicable to animation as well. And he spoke about the importance, if you want to be a successful business person or run a successful company, you need to have discipline. And that is the key ingredients when it comes to animation as well. And I'm going to dive deep into discipline today and show you the 3 areas to focus on, and then how to incorporate this into your own life so that you can become a successful animator as well, or be successful in whatever you want to pursue as an animator. Maybe you want to work at a large animation studio, or maybe you just want to create your own short film or have a web series on YouTube or whatever it may be. But discipline is extremely important. So let's quickly have a look at the 3 different areas of discipline that you should incorporate into your life as an animator. So the first one is learning. Okay, so you need to learn. Okay, you're never going to reach a phase as an animator where you're going to stop learning. There's this one YouTuber that I also follow. He worked, I can't remember his name. I'll put an image on the screens so you guys can have a look. But he worked at DreamWorks for a while, and so he said, even though when his end goal was to work at a large animation studio like DreamWorks, and he finally reached that goal. But one thing he said that really stuck with me is when he reached his goal as an animator, his pinnacle of success, he finally worked at a large animation studio. He said when he worked at DreamWorks, that was actually the place where he learned the most. Why? Because he was surrounded with other like-minded animators or animators better than him. So if he was stuck with something, he had so many other people around him he can ask for advice. So when he reached his goal, that was actually when he was learning the most about animation and where he improved the most. So the reason why I'm adding learning as one of the key areas of discipline is we should never think of ourselves that we know everything, I don't have to learn anymore. We should always make room to continue learning. So learning should be part of your whole animation process as an animator. Okay, so that is the first one, learning. So the next one is practicing. And this is so obvious. Okay, so you need to set time aside to practice. You need to practice the bouncing ball. You need to practice the walking cycle. And you may think, oh man, I've mastered the bouncing ball and I've mastered the walking cycle. But I want to, let's say, for example, Shrek. Okay, Shrek has a specific way, a specific style of how he's walking. He's not just walking. It's not just a walking cycle that you have to apply on the Shrek character. Shrek has a different, unique way of walking, completely different from how Fiona is walking. She's walking completely different. It's two different characters walking in two different ways. So you need to master the walking cycle so that you can then um, adjust that walking cycle for each different character. Apply um, some personality into the walking cycles. And then you need to be able to apply that personality on that walking cycle for every time that character is walking in that 90 minutes movie. For example, every time Shrek walks in the movie, it's not just applying that walking cycle, it is applying that unique walking style of Shrek in every single clip Shrek is featuring in. So it's more than just mastering the walking cycle. It is mastering it in such a way that you can then start to customize it for different characters. And this takes practice. You need to practice. So practice is the second part of discipline. And then it takes us to the third one, and that is animating. Now, if you've been following my YouTube channel for a while, or maybe been to one of my webinars or some of my online courses, you'll know I am very strong on this part, animating, because when you animate, you've set the bar. So if you've animated your first project, that's the bar. Now you can look at it and you can see, okay, where do I need to improve? You can ask for feedback. But if you haven't animated anything, you can't ask for feedback. You can't learn from your mistakes. And you'll see that is the vicious cycle. After you've animated your first project, and it doesn't have to be a short form. It should just be something short, okay? Something that you can just quickly, a dialogue scene, a fighting scene, a car racing scene, just something small that you can animate, and now you can get feedback. You can see the mistakes you've made. You can learn from it, and now you are back at phase one. So you can see it's like a vicious circle, and you can learn from your mistakes. Now you can practice and see to improve your shortfallings, and then you animate your next project. And then you look at it, see the mistakes you've made, get some feedback, and learn from it. And you'll see it is just like a vicious circle. You just continue learning, continue practicing, continue animating, and that is how you are going to get better as an animator. So this is a process you need to follow. You need to learn, you need to practice, you need to animate, and then you need to learn, practice, and animate, and it just continues. Okay? So that is the 3 elements of discipline that you need to apply. But now you may ask, okay, how do I apply this to my life? Okay, so Eon, it's great to know I need to learn and I need to practice and I need to animate. But can you give me some practical tips on how to do it? Okay, so when it comes to discipline, it's actually very simple. Discipline means you are adding structure so that you can get improvement. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you need to establish a routine. So you need to say to yourself, okay, I want to set a specific time of the day, let's say 7 p.m. at night, and I want to set 1 hour a day at that time. That is the day I am going to animate. And let's look at our everyday lives. We have so many different routines, okay? We have our morning routines. You get up, you take a shower, you brush your teeth, you maybe shave, you eat your breakfast, drink your first cup of coffee, read the newspaper. We all have different routines. When we wake up, we do this routine without thinking. We don't even think, oh man, should I shower today? We don't do it. We just get up and we follow our routine. So we need to establish a routine, okay? Then once we have established a routine, so let's say, for example, every day I'm going to set 1 hour apart to animate, and I am going to do this at 7 p.m. every day. That is my routine every day, 1 hour at 7 p.m. The schedule is what am I going to do in that hour that I've set apart. So for example, let's say weekends, Saturday and Sunday, I am going to set apart to learn. So I am going to read a book, or I am going to take an online course. I'm going to watch some tutorials, learn more about my software, etc. So you can say my schedule is Saturday and Sunday. I am going to focus on learning. Then Monday and Tuesday, I am going to set aside for practicing. So then I am going to do a walking cycle, or I'm going to do a bouncing ball, or whatever you're going to practice. And then, for example, then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you are going to animate. You see, that is your schedule. So you've got your routine, what time of the day, how long every day, that is your routine. What are you going to do in that hour or in that time you've set out? That is your schedule. So now you're going to have your schedule. So, for example, again, your morning routine. Maybe you get up at 5, so between 5 and 6, you get up, you shower, you brush your teeth, you shave, you eat your breakfast, drink your coffee, read your newspaper. So you've got your time, that is your schedule. You've got your routine. That is what the time period you are doing all these morning routines. Then your schedule is what you're going to do. You're going to shower, brush your teeth, etc. So you kind of see the pattern. And then the final one, you need to make it a habit, okay? Again, your morning routine is a habit. You don't think twice, should I take a shower? Should I brush my teeth? Should I eat breakfast? No, it is such a habit that you get up and you do it automatically, okay? Because the reason why this is so important is otherwise you're going to procrastinate and you're going to say, I'm not feeling like doing this today. Well, I'm going to do it tomorrow. And then before you know it, a month has passed and you haven't done anything. So you need to make this a habit. Okay, so 7 p.m., 1 hour, I need to practice my animation skills. It is part of your daily life. And if you do this, if you are disciplined in this, in learning, practicing, and animating, and you create a routine, you establish your schedule, and you make this a habit, you are going to improve immensely as an animator. And the good thing about the animating part is you're going to start to create your portfolio as well for one day if you want to apply for a job at a large studio as well. So that is a great part of also animating as much as possible. So guys, let me know, what area do you struggle with the most? Is it the learning part? It feels like, oh man, I can't sit and go through an online course, or I just don't have a time to watch or a webinar or read a book. Is it maybe the practice part? You just want to animate, you don't want to practice. You'll fix it, the walking cycle in your animation process, you'll fix everything there. So is the exercising part your problem, or is maybe the animation part where you struggle? Is it maybe you learn and you practice and you can do all these things, but you haven't animated anything? You just do these small exercises, or you just stuck on learning. You watch every YouTube video and you watch or buy every online course and you read every book, but you've just never gone over to the next step of actually applying what you've learned and what you've practiced into something that you've animated. So let me know in the comments, what area are you struggling when it comes to discipline, and will you incorporate what you've learned today in your animation. I would love to hear from you. So in the comments, feel free to let me know. And just finally, just a quick invite again to join my Start Animating community. Remember, there's 3 tiers. There's a free one. Then there's the Animator Circle. It's $7 a month, very affordable. And then there's the Creators Lounge, which is for the more serious animator who really wants more from a community, get some one-on-one coaching, etc. And that is a great place where you can get feedback as well, and where you can learn from other animators. That's why being part of a community is such a great way to learn as well. And with these challenges we have inside the community as well, it's also a great way for you to practice as well. So feel free to join the Start Animating community, any of the tiers that best suit your needs. I am looking forward to seeing you there. So guys, that is it for me. I will see you guys next week with another video. So God bless and happy animating.